Top of morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If. Zuko was the only overpowered character in this What If. So, this one is kind of different from the others What Ifs, but it's gonna be like a little bit too dark. Not too much, but it's okay. So, now, and I'm thrown in with him his own like sister. So yeah, he is basically strongest one. So when he was born, or like when he was just a child, he had a power that only he could see. Oh, sorry. Was sticky steel threads thing. You could see it up there, but that's what sticky steel threads. And so, yeah. Let's continue. So, when he was just, or when they were like reaching 4 years old, Zuko still sees them, but he gains new powers. Or like, when he went to the quirk doctor, or they went to a quirk doctor, first he looked at Zumi and says, you have fire manipulation. But your brother, well, he doesn't have a quirk. But just a little disclaimer for, like, he actually has a quirk, but he did, or they don't know that he's actually moving it on purpose. He's moving it from, like, toe all the way to his arms. So they thought he was quirkless. So then, yeah. So that just absolutely destroyed Zuko. Huh? And yeah. So he basically he knows that something's up. Like, he covers his eyes. And he did a quirk assessment test himself. As like, he actually calms himself down, and or he bought one of those. So, quirk assessment test, as he like put it on his arm where it is, and as he looks at his arm and he tells his mom, as his mother was saying, yes, dear, as call me crazy, but does that seem a little bit like a quirk? As he does a scan of his entire body. Yes, sweetie. As he sees, or as she sees the quirk, it's a full body scan thing, like full, like they see scan, or like turn a person into a skeleton kind. So Inko is watching as she sees, or actually between Inko and Nasashi and Zumi saw like a quirk inside of Zuko's body starts to move around into his own, like, first it was in his like arm, then his chest, then his other arm, like, as they couldn't believe. So they went go back to Quirk Doctor, and the Quirk Doctor says, "Oh, you're back, huh? That fast?" As it was just Zuko and Inko. As Inko says, "Well, I think you miscalculated something. Let's see. Okay, let's do a quirk assessment test thing." And as how about the like skeleton, like full skeleton to see? Sure. Cause reason? As Zumi says, "Well, I think the quirk moves by itself. Or I think he's moving it without him even realizing it." Interesting. Let's see. As he watches the same thing, like from his arm, his leg, like, well, your quirk is a slippery one. Never gets a good reading. As he calms down, and it slows down, and it stops right in the middle of his chest. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. As he does a quirk assessment test 3 times to double check. As his eyes glowed. Like, they couldn't believe the quirk moves by a will of his. Yeah. Or actually, scratch that. So, yeah. But he does have a quirk. It's just him. It's surrounding his entire body. So, yeah, he's basically the weakest person, they think. But in reality, he can. So, he ends up being in class 1B. With all of them. Yeah. And Zumi got the highest score. Like, basically got infinity. Like, basically higher than All Might's score. Yeah. So, and his superhero costume, or their superhero costumes, are like, because I'm skipping the ball throw, and but heroes versus villains. Zumi wears like that, and Zuko wears that. As he says, as Bakugo was making fun of him for being quirkless and you should stay out of class 1A. As, of course, he agrees. Okay. As, yeah. He tells his sister that if he needs anything, or if she needs anything, because he actually has a super hearing, just pull the string that's in front of you. Okay? Okay, big brother. Yeah, so then at the USJ, she like was freaking out as she pulls the string as it alarms his body, as everyone looks at him like, what's wrong? As his body went full on, basically like, you know that One Punch Man where he, or that this guy went from being a, looks like a cockroach, giant cockroach, into a, like a, that? Yeah. He basically turned into that. And like went through the portal. And yeah. And he went full on Sugoku. Like basically punched everyone around, or all the villains, and around like a little ragdolls, like. So, yeah. As he looks at and the leader of the, hold on. He looked at the leader of him, or he was a leader of it, as he says, "This is not fair, not fair." But then when he stops like itching, he is like getting afraid of him. As, yeah, he basically, or the Zuko looked at him with such, like, has the same aura, everything, as he says, "You really think this is a game, boy? You know, this is a true power. I'm at my maximal power." As he basically beats the Nomu, like took off his head and like ripped it right off and like smashed its brain, and yeah. As when his aura of being like When they felt his presence, everyone felt it. As All Might could even feel it, like something's brewing real fast. Heck, even like everyone in Class 1A is like giving the hibby jibbies to, like, they couldn't even feel how powerful. As, yeah, Mr. Aizawa is even shaking in his, like, shoes. Because how powerful he is. As, yeah, Class A, Class B were even afraid of Zuko because how powerful he is. And only person. So, yeah. Zuko was looked at him with cold, vicious eyes. Yeah, like that. And man, oh man. Even Kirigiri says, okay, let's go. Shirkushi says, yeah, I agree. So they both warped away. As everyone, or his brother, or no, his sister, it says, are you still with us? As he turns and he gives a thumbs up. Still here. As he basically, yeah. They were like intrigued as he calms down and be like, huh, sorry if I spooked any of ya. As he puts his hand behind his head, as he says, huh, well, yeah. So, yeah. He tells Mr. Aizawa that, you want me to wrap up the villains for you? As he is so kind heart. So, yeah. He basically is in Class 1B, but man, his aura, when he gets mad, as he uses his strings to literally wrap every villain up, hang them upside down, too. So he's like, huh. As he looks at his hands, as as he starts laughing, as Eraserhead says, huh, what's so funny? As, or actually, during Class 1A, Bakugo even felt afraid of Zuko. Yeah. So, yeah. So he says, I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Aizawa. I was not even using full power. Guess what the percentage was? .00000.1% of my power. That was only the smallest taste in the world of my power. As everyone went full backwards, as they're like, wait, so that was like a smallest power? Yeah. So when I say everyone was afraid, of course, in this what if, Toga, instead of being a villain, she joined UA. She saw him. She actually was in Class 1A. When she saw his power, she immediately, wanted him. Yeah. So now we move on to the sports festival. So, yeah. And yeah, or all, or actually at the All for One during, or no, at the USJ during the same time, All for, or of course at the villain's base, All for One sees how much power that a student uses. What's his name? Him? That's Zuko Midoriya. His quirks is unknown to us. He basically is too powerful for it. So then during the USJ, during the sports festival, during the fight one, him against Todoroki, not Todoroki, against the guy that's tries to force people to answer his question so that he can mind control them. Yeah. He tried to insult Zuko, but he ended up activating his you know what, I respect you. As he straight up punched him all the way out to the out of the ring with just one punch. Yeah. Then as he actually did knock Bakugo out before he hurts Oraka. Straight up punched him all the way. And yeah. Basically his face went right through the wall. And he's trying to get it unstuck. So yeah. Then All for One, or not All for One, the Todoroki got basically in during the class 1B thing, it was her that she fell in love with him. Between her and Toga, they were both like trying to decide of who will be the suitable fit for him. Because he actually does have a quirk called explosion mushrooms thing. It does the same, or it allows the user, it's just like the same thing as hers, but mushrooms explode by his clapping. But his true power is basically like it was a mix between her power and his. Yeah. So, yeah, he basically activated it when he during All For One's fight thing. But don't get too ahead of ourselves. So Todoroki says, let's go all out. Shall we? As he says, alright. As he puts up a barrier and like he first warps like Midnight away so that he puts up a barrier so that the ready? As he becomes this at full maximal, but that's not even, he activated his full power and became a run of everything. And everyone sees it as they see him bending reality to his will. Like fabric of space-time even were helping him. As, yeah, he basically we're actually scratch that. He basically transformed into that, and then he brutally like beats like Todoroki with such force that even and like to enough that as he cracked the world with just the one hit. Yeah. As he lifts up. That was a good fight. As he looks down at his feet, or looks at him, at Todoroki, and sees Todoroki passed out. Oh, crud. I killed him. As, yeah. Endeavor even, like, everyone that saw him, or actually, Todoroki was not dead. He's knocked out, actually. Huh. That was... He really needs to train his body more. Than I have. So, yeah, he basically does the same thing. Because how much power he has? Huh. As he puts up the number 2. Like 0.2. Basically, as everyone's like, what? That's only... You're not even using your full power. And that seems pretty weak. Huh. Well, yeah. So, he basically, as he says, this is just a sports festival, not a flippin' death match. That's what he says. And if you really want me to... So he asked, I delivered. So, yeah. As, yeah, he basically spooked everyone by using that, like, that face. Ace. And, yeah, they're like, they all turn to, like, flippin' stone. Not, their bodies are frozen thing. So, yeah, because how scared they were. As, yeah, except for his sister, because that she knows that he does not mean to hurt anyone. He's a kind soul. So, yeah. As some of the students are like, heck, even All Might is, or not All Might. Sorry, my eyes itches. So, okay. The heck, Midnight even asked Racerhead and the why is he in Class 1B? He should be in Class 1A. Well, it's because of that quirk assessment test, remember? Yeah, but he... Doesn't it seem weird to you that someone with this much power gets into Class 1B? As Nezu was like, yes, that is just weird. Weird. So, yeah, he basically is the... So, and internships is like, he really doesn't know where to go. And his... everyone wants to, like... So they all chose, like, him. So let's say it was gonna be... Let's say it would be like... that girl that got saved... Or that pro hero that got saved from the Nomu by Endeavor. like, and so she, he chose him. So yeah, they all wanted him. Yeah. So when he acts like when he's in his calm mode, he like is so calm. He actually did. Hold on. He actually did caught all three Nomus and like exploded them by just bending like as yeah, Endeavor and the rest of them are like, holy crud. As he says, huh. Well. As even heck, as Eraserhead, or actually not Eraserhead, everyone that saw his when he did that, they know that don't tick off the Zuku Midoriya. As like everyone like them, they all cared about him. Because they saw what he can do with his powers. As he like as he sees or he actually goes to sees like Hero Killer Stain and yeah. Basically yeah. When he sees Hero Killer Stain or no, Native and Ida, then he became Nan and beats a snot out of Hero Killer Stain. Like basically like Hero Killer Stain had no chance. As yeah, he used fabric thing or like strings to like grab Ida and Native and put them in the hospital. As he's trying to think of he will go to the authorities. So he literally took like Hero Killer Stain over to the authorities. And his hero name is Infinity Lord. So yeah, his sister's name is Firebender or Fire Breather. Either Zuku or Zumi, sorry. So yeah, or Lord of the Divine. So yeah. Then, or like End of, I was gonna say End of Infinity, but that's yeah. So let's do that. End of Infinity has apprehended All for One. Or no, Hero Killer Stain. As yeah. As yeah, everyone likes that name because it suits him. Because Heck, his own sister likes that name. As one day, Toga and her walked up to him together and asked him who does he like more to date thing. And he's embarrassed of, like, to be honest, or of course he says, I'm being honest with you, both of you. I like you both. As each of both. So that's what both of you. Of course, they smile at that because they don't have to like argue of who's the better person. So yeah. So then they've been dating for a while. So now the camp art thing has happened, and Zuko got kidnapped instead of Bakugo or anyone. So yeah, he basically. Give me a moment to clear out this, and so yeah. And when he actually does know how to fly. So when he became enraged, he actually flew all the way across the entire Japan, and to go toe to toe with All For One, because All For One and All Might, they already did their battle, but All For One was gonna kill All Might, but Zuko stepped in and like, you know that how One Punch Man, he like saved a citizen. Yeah, imagine that imagine Zuko saving All Might like that. Yeah. In a nano clicks. Yeah. So he says, well, you're in no better shape than I am. As he says that to All Might, I'll take care of things here. Just leave it to me. Zuko Midoriya. Or should I say, the Infinity. Because you have powers. As he uses his every ability. Yeah, first he uses his mushroom bombs. And take this. As he throws he plucked the mushroom and threw it right at as All For One caught it. And it exploded in his hand. Yeah. So Zuko became a full-on Super Saiyan's form. And yeah, he basically went to 1.000000000.1. Like, it's in infinity now. As everyone's like, holy crud. Even All For One was like shaken. Because as he says this, or when Zuko looked at him, saying, "You threaten my friends, or you try to kidnap me to use against my friends, and you try to hurt All Might, prepare to die." Yeah. So he went to town on All for One. Basically, beats them to a bloody pulp. And yeah. Only thing that was left was All for One's masks and the skeleton. That's it. No organs, no like quirks, and no nothing. As he says, "Alright." As everyone was spooked. Like, even the news people was so spooked. Because everyone didn't know that at his peak, like, he passed his peak. He went full on gun mode. Yeah. Everyone was like that. So, yeah. He basically went and like and like heck, even All Might is like, what the heck? As yeah, All Might is like, huh. Good job, Citizen. Good job, young Midoriya. Thanks. As he passed out. When he's passed out, his body's 100 times heavier than that. It's like a gravity on like any planets that have like is 100 times more heavier than anything. Heck, All Might's like trying to lift him up, with all of his strength, he couldn't even do it. So yeah, the next day he woke up, as he's like, okay. And because his body's like had too much like power on him, he walks slower than people that walk like really fast. As he basically tries to walk as All Might was as everyone's like, he's gonna be late. As Nezu went and checked on him, as they see, or he sees him moving really slow. You know, like he's shows up amount as yeah, All for One, or no, not All for One, everybody is worried about him. So they're like, so he lifts, or when he walks slower, like because all that pressure thing, yeah, he basically transformed into or he feels like a rock or a snail. Yeah, because all that power that he built up inside of his body with his quirk, yeah, is, yeah, basically heck, he had to call his own mom to, like, or not call his mom. He even called, like, Nezu, who, to, like, send someone down, um, or actually All Might was with him, and as he was worried about Zuko, like, gets all that stress on that, or all that power that's on your, or has effect on your entire body. Interesting. As Zuko tells him that he is, because the reason why he's walking slow is because all that pressure from, like, building up all that power inside of his body was, so yeah, he basically, because his body was like, it's like Vegeta's is and that, like, and like whatever that thing was, that's like 500 times. Yeah, he basically, when he bulks up into, like, as he moves a little bit quicker, like, he got to UA in about 1 second. Like, yeah. As he says, I'm staying buff because if I go back to my human state, and then I can be super slow. As some of them are worried about him, like, what do you mean? As, yeah, he basically went to, like, the courtyard, as he passed he gave, like, his, like, that side effect thing. Who wants to try it? As who was the one that had to volunteer? Was none other than Techu. No. So he says, I'll be a first. As he says, okay, this won't be, or this is stronger than you ever feel. Or it's like, as he puts his hand on him, transfers all that on, as Tetsu felt so like heavy that even like he moves slower. Like, wow. As he's like, his own body couldn't even handle his, like, he doesn't explode, so don't worry. It was like gravity. So yeah. As he took it back, that's why. As they're like, holy crud. So no wonder why you go slow if you take in too much of power. Yeah, like they all like care about him. But there is a one upside to me. I can and become lots more like invincible when I'm this state. So yeah. And yeah. So Blood Hero got the same thing. Like they couldn't believe how much power. So I am skipping the dodgeball and the like overhaul. And yeah. And there's 3 people actually. Or no, 2 people. Her and Toga. So, and then we got, of course, Momo asked Todoroki and then to go on a date thing, and then yeah, I was gonna pair him up with like Ochako, but I'm like, well, yeah, so I was gonna pick like Toga with Bakugo, and I'm like, yeah. So continue. So then of course, so both of them both of them had 2 kids. That makes 4. So yeah. He trains harder than anyone. Like more power that he produces out of his body and more heavier he gets. Not because he stays the same, but his own electric field is like his own body thing. Like it's just weird. So yeah, he basically, if he wanted to go supernova, he goes right ahead. And yeah, everyone wants to see how powerful he really gets when, as everyone was like, all right, Zuko, let's see how powerful you really get. And pass even the guns. Okay, then. As he, like, does this, he used all of his power, all the way, even passing Gun's power, past the destiny, everything. As, yeah, he basically went full on, like, none of everything mode. Or, like, so, yeah, he basically used his power and he bent reality, the fabric of reality, and all that stuff. And, like, slams his entire power. Yeah. They saw his power as, yeah. He makes All Might's, like, One for All, seem like a child's play. Yeah. As he's like, stay awake. Stay awake. As he's trying to stay awake. So, this is just a fill-in. So, peace out, Cub Scout.